everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I saw this video idea from Beauty Spectrum / Molly Thompson. It messaged on the fam group chat saying who would be up for this. We've done for a week and a half a come dine with me challenge, so we take it in turns to cook a 3-course meal. The only rules that we had was that it had to be 3 courses. We picked the days, like who was going to be each day, out of a bowl with all of our names in. That there would be a score out of 10 for starter, mains, desserts and ambient. I'm just going to get straight into it because there's a lot of footage here.
It's now 12:05, so it's officially come dine with me day 1. I'm very excited. I've finished prepping my risottos. So we've got the parmesan and pea, the pesto, and what was this one? Tomato and basil. It's the day today, day 1 of come dine with me. It's my dinner. And I've made my menus and presented them. So dinner is at 7 PM tonight. Now I'm prepping the chalky pud. A practice chalky pud in the oven and a practice arancini in the oven. I realised that I have no mozzarella for my arancini and no tagliatelle for my main, so I went to the shop. So I got ready. It's 10 to 6, so I've got just over an hour, so it's getting a bit hectic. It is 20 to 7, so I've got 20 minutes until we're ready to go. I have laid the table, so you can see we've got all of our placemats, got some olives, and some breadsticks and some candles with some glasses. Got some Prosecco in the fridge and some Schlur for Kerry. And the kitchen's crazy. We've got all the arancini prepped here, all the mains prepped here. I'm just prepping the dessert now.
This is apparently arancini and it looks very nice. This is pasta alla Gemma. Looks very nice indeed.
Parmesan, black pepper.
Look how peng that looks. It smells amazing.
Oh. I'm done. My chalky puds went down a treat.
The starter, I'm not gonna lie, the starter was my favourite course. I'm going to give Gemma a 10 because I really enjoyed it. It's something I've never had before. She's never cooked it before, I don't think, so I was really impressed with that. And also I just really loved it. I loved the fact that it was 3 different flavours. I'm giving the main course an 8 out of 10. Obviously it was really nice, really enjoyed it. The only thing I would say is that the side salad had tomatoes in and I don't like tomatoes, and we had that conversation. The sauce, it was really nice, but by the end it was a bit sickly. But as I said before, thoroughly enjoyed it. So the dessert was the chalky pud. I thought it was really good. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. By the end, again, like the main, it was a little bit sickly by the time you got to the end. But other than that, it was so good, cannot fault it. And I also thought the presentation was really nice and original and well thought out. On to the ambience. Obviously, Gemma did such a good job, but I don't know what people are going to do tomorrow, like the next night or the night after. And the candles, I would never thought to do the candles, the music, the Italian music, because all of her dishes were Italian. Dress code. Yeah, I just thought it was really lovely. I'm giving Gemma a 9.
For her starter, I'm going to give her a 7. I think she did a really good job. But for me, there was just slightly too much. I could have done with just 2 of the 3 different flavours. For her mains, I'm going to give Gemma an 8. I think it was so tasty. I like that you got a side salad and you could add more cheese or keep it fairly plain if you wanted to. It was super filling though. That's my only fault, I suppose. For Gemma's dessert, I'm going to give her a 7. It was so good. It was really chocolatey, really yummy. There was a good selection of options to have with it. So there was cream, there was ice cream, there was double cream. For me, it was slightly rich and there was quite a lot of it. But other than that, it was really nice. So the last score is for ambience, and I think Gemma smashed it. She gave us a dress code of smart casual and to wear something red. And When we came downstairs, there was Italian music playing. The table was set lovely. She offered us Prosecco or wine. The only reason I'm marking her down is because she started speaking to me in French and not Italian. So for that reason, I'm going to give her a 9.
A score for the starter, which I have to say, never had before, never heard before. Really quite good. And it was that good that I'm going to give it a 9. Mains was very nice. If I had a criticism, and I am really picking at hairs here, because it was a very nice and very enjoyable dish, I would say it was perhaps a little on the not stodgy side, but sort of like compact, dry sort of side for me. I could have done with a bit more, the sauce to be a bit more like wet and sloshy, and to give my mains a 8. Still a good score, and it was still a very tasty dish, don't get me wrong. Moving on to dessert, again, lovely presentation. I'm saying the presentation, I have to say, on all the dishes was absolutely superb. Really has set the boundary very high. Probably chocolate pudding's not one of my most favouriteest of desserts, but it was done very nicely. And yeah, it was really good, so I'm going to give that a 8. Then overall ambience, incredible effort that gone into the whole thought process of the music. It was everything you could think of. And the wine selection was very good as well, so I'm going to give that a 9. Oh well, this is me here. That's the menu. Nervous? Touch. The kitchen is starting to get a little bit more messy. Things are progressing. We've got actually something made over here. Boom. There you go. Hey, we can eat that if anything happens. You have it in the fridge. Oh, how about that? 4 little puddings, well 5. One's a tester. See how it comes out. If it comes out. If not, well, we'll just see, won't we?
Yeah. What's the one side?
The prepping for the bubbling over here. This is stressful. It's now 25 to 6. We're eating in an hour's time, and I haven't even started my mains. Oopsie. I have started a small gin and tonic though. But there is a degree of organisation. Right, 2.5 minutes later, shaved and changed.
We've got a nice green light. And this is the table setting. Some nice prawn crackers. Some cool jars. We've got a little mocktail. These two have got cocktails.
It's in the pan, it's cooking. Is it good? Is it bad? We don't know. We'll find out.
This is the starter. This is what the mains looks like. This is what pudding looks like.
Feeling proud.
Wearing my coat because I'm really cold. Start with the starter. I really enjoyed the potato cakes. I think they were definitely the best part of the starter. The coleslaw I loved, but I thought the sauce was a bit vinegary for my liking. So for that reason, I'm giving the starter an 8. So next we've got the main course, which was beastly. It was amazing. It was very filling, but nevertheless, that was not the right word. The sauce was amazing, and I loved the egg on top. The only thing I would say to work on for next time is it was massive. I couldn't finish the whole plate of it, but that was just because I got so full, so maybe a bit smaller portion for me. So for them reasons, I'm giving it an 8. Right, so lastly we've got the dessert, and I thought the dessert was so good. I actually love mangoes. The only thing was that it was meant to be a set dessert. Although it wasn't set, all the flavours were still there, and it was so enjoyable. I just wanted it to keep going. So for that reason, I'm giving Dad a 9. So now we've got the ambiance, as Gemma calls it. I thought the table was set really well. Menus were really nice, although they didn't have a time for the meal or dress code or anything like that. We didn't have any nice cool music, which is another downfall, but then at the same time we did have some nice drinks. So I had a mocktail and Emily and Gemma had a cocktail. The same ambient score as Gemma, which is an 8.
So for Dad's starter, I'm going to give him an 8. I really enjoyed his starter. I really like the balance of flavours. It wasn't too spicy. For his mains, I'm also going to give him an 8. I think it was a really good meal. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely eat it again and order it if I was out at a restaurant. So for dessert, I'm going to give Dad a 7. I think it was really nice. It was really refreshing, which after quite a spicy starter and main was really nice. I really enjoyed the flavour. However, I don't think it set how it was meant to have set, otherwise I would have marked it higher. And finally for ambience, I'm going to give Dad a 7. I think he did a really good job. I was really pleasantly surprised. The table was set out really nicely. We had good music. We had some lovely cocktails. Kerry had a mocktail. The only reason I'm marking him down is because there was a bit of a wait between starter and main. And also the music cut out about halfway through, but I didn't mind. We had good conversation, the old-fashioned way.
For Billy's starter, I'm giving him an 8. Really tasty potato cakes. I really liked them. Really nice flavour, quite aromatic but not too spicy. I'm personally not too keen on coriander, but it's quite nicely presented as well. The main was really tasty. I don't like when my food touches on the plate. Lots of nice little different bits and bobs in it, and it all went really well together. But the main problem for me was Billy tried to sneak mushrooms into my dinner to a 7. It was still very tasty, but I don't mess with mushrooms. Dessert can be quite a tricky one because obviously I'm allergic to so many fruits, and this pudding was absolutely unreal. But despite Emily's savage attempts to strike down the opposition, it was actually supposed to set and be turned out like a sort of panna cotta jelly type thing. We had it like a smoothie bowl. I'm giving Billy a strong 10 out of 10 for food. I would eat that any day of the week. In terms of the ambiance, the layout was really lovely. It was quite simple but very chic. The fairy lights in the jars were really pretty, really nice touch. There was music playing at the start, although it did stop part way through. There was a green light which set the scene quite nicely on the empty table, but then did make our eyes go a bit funny towards the end. But there were prawn crackers laid out on the table at the start as well, and we were presented with a cocktail. I didn't actually like the cocktail either, but in theory it was really nice. So for that reason, quite a mixed bag. We're going for a nice comfortable 7.
Making my dessert so that I don't have as much to do tomorrow. So it's 20 past 11 and my dessert is currently in the oven. So I'm just gonna wait for it to cool a bit and put it in the fridge. 10 to 2 on my day. How nerve-wracking is that? The table looks like. My mum FaceTimed me and helped me make these because I didn't know how to make them. And I put like napkins in the glasses. I've got little candles in here which I'm gonna light up here. I've got my bunting from my different countries. Currently going to the shops because the tomatoes were mouldy. We are cooking. Side prepared there. Potatoes cut up for the starter. And I've got my cheesecake, my raspberry kool-aid and my sauce for my starter. I've also got my virgin sangria there. And this is what I've done with my recipes.
I'm going to put that in
my new cookbook. My starter is out.
So the mains have come out. So we've got Emily. Do you want to tell us what you've got?
I've got some mushroom stroganoff.
I've got a pork stroganoff with mushrooms.
And I've got a pork and courgette stroganoff because I don't like mushrooms.
Yeah.
So I have just plated up my dessert.
Don't want the opposition spying on my score as I'm holding up the numbers. So for Kerry's starter, she is getting a 9. We had patatas bravas, which is one of my favourite tapas dishes. It was really well cooked, sauce was lovely, presentation very pretty, really tasty. I'll definitely eat it again. The only reason it's not a 10 is because some of the potatoes were a little bit hard. For Kerry's main, obviously she put a huge amount of effort in doing a veggie option, a meat option, and then a no mushroom option for me because I'm fussy. That's got big ratings. It was really tasty. I ate all of it. The stroganoff was really lovely. The only thing is that the ratatouille that came with it, it was cold. Basically, gonna give it an 8. Kerry's dessert, it was very tasty. I've never had a baked cheesecake before and I really liked it. I couldn't quite finish it all. It was a tiny bit too rich. Lovely 9 out of 10. In terms of the ambiance for the night, so the menus were absolutely beautiful. They were given to us as a little scroll with a little pink ribbon and a bow on it. The layout of the table was lovely. We had gold napkins folded into a little fan, really, really pretty. And also the banners on the wall, that took a lot of time and effort and looked really pretty for all the different themes for the countries, for the food. We got virgin sangria, which was really tasty. And when we finished the first jug, Kerry then came out and made a second batch of it. So it was entertainment because we had the cocktail making class at the table and more drinks, which were really lovely again. Music was forgotten about at first. It came on halfway through the starter with a lot of apologies. Kerry is going to get a 9.
For Kerry's starter, I'm going to give her a 7. I think she did a really good job. I was really, really impressed. I really like the sauce on the potatoes. I did actually ask her for the recipe. For me, the only thing that would have took it up a point or 2 was maybe to have a bit of a side salad. I'm going to give her an 8. Loved her mains. I love mushroom stroganoff anyway, but I really, really enjoyed it. She catered for everyone, which I think was really, really thoughtful. She did it with a side of ratatouille, which was really nice as well. For Kerry's dessert, I am going to give her an 8. I thought it was really lovely. The presentation was great. I really enjoyed the raspberry coulis as well. I think that added another little flavour to it, which was really refreshing. Finally, for ambience, I'm going to give Kerry an 8. I could tell a lot of thought had gone into her evening. I really enjoyed the theme and I enjoyed dressing up to her dress code. I think that the dining room was set up really beautifully with the homemade bunting and the flags. I really enjoyed having a mocktail. That was really lovely. One of the only reasons I'm marking down is because the music didn't come on until I think during our starter.
Yeah, fantastic. Second time she's ever cooked a meal in her life, and she did 3 courses, and yeah, really, really quite proud of her. Starter. Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't the star of her show. There's 1 or 2 of my ones were a little bit burnt, but the sauce that was on it, I have to say, was actually really lovely. 7. Main. Who does a dinner party and does 3 different mains? No one does that. Kerry does. I could have ate twice as much as what I had on my plate because I really enjoyed it. Solid 8. Dessert. She cooked a cheesecake that was restaurant quality. The flavour, the cooking, everything about it, the presentation, I can't fault that. There wasn't any marks I could knock off on the pudding. And I don't give away full marks very often on anything, but that was a 10. Da, 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 da. She put a lot of effort into the thought of the theme that she was doing, and we got flags up. She put a lot of effort into making that table was set very nicely. She did have a couple of slip-ups because she forgot to put knives and forks on the table. Bit of a schoolboy error. She'd made a nice drink, thought about the drink, made a nice non-alcoholic sangria, which was very pleasant actually. So for her ambience, I'm going to give her a 8.
I've started making my dips.
So we've got our salsa, our guac, our sour cream and chive.
It's 12:20 at night and I'm making the filling for my taquitos.
This is the filling so far. I've got to add potato and cheese to it. It's ready to go into the fridge.
So it's 10 o'clock on the morning of. I've just made my desserts and I'm really, really happy. They look really good.
So here's the cornbread, which I'm really happy with. Here we've got my sweet potato ready to go in the oven for my chilli.
The chilli is underway. I've toasted the pumpkin seeds to go on the top. I have decided to prep my drinks. I'm going to be making mojitos.
This is my table set up. Also got some funky banners. Another one up here.
I've just gone and got ready for the evening and I'm just finishing off some bits now. We're about 5 minutes away. Everything's fine.
Emily has made all these dips. How cute. These are taquitos. Look pretty cute.
I'm so excited to eat these.
This looks really nice. So this is the bean chili. Emily has just brought out the cornbread. She forgot about it. Right, so desserts just come out.
What was it called again?
A crema catalana.
The starter, we actually had a pre-starter starter. We had the 4 dips and tortillas. Dips were handmade and they were all peng The actual starter, peng, peng, peng. The only thing I would say is that the salad could have had some like dressing or something. For those reasons, I'm gonna give Emily a 9 for her starter. Main, I really enjoyed the chili. I thought the presentation out of all of her meals, the presentation was best for the main. I loved the little avocado on top, and it was really good portion size. And we had the cornbread, which came out a bit late. The only thing I'd say about the cornbread, I think it could have done with a little bit longer in the oven, but I think Emily knew that. But yeah, other than that, it tasted delicious. I'm gonna give Emily a 9 for her main. We've got the dessert. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like creme brulee, but it was lemony, and I literally inhaled it. It was so good. The only thing I'd say about the dessert is that could have had like a sprinkling of icing sugar over the plate, done something with the presentation, put some fruit on top or something like that. For dessert, I'm going to give Emily an 8. So next we've got the ambient. The table was set so lovely. I love the theme, the colour theme, the dress code, yeah, the drinks, the mojitos. I am giving Emily the highest ambient score that I have given so far, and that is a 9.
For Emily's starter, we had chips and dips, and we also had taquitos. The dips were really nice. She homemade 4 dip, the nacho cheese sauce, which was life-changing. They were really tasty, all served in different pots, and then the nachos in the middle, not all mixed up and icky. I really appreciate it. The salsa was a bit too lumpy for me, couldn't really get a lot on the tortilla chips. Along with that came the taquitos, which were really lovely. 2 of them on the plate, which was slightly too much. It was very filling for a starter, along with the chips and dips, when we still had 2 more courses to come. But Emily explained that one looks a bit lonely on the plate by itself, so that was a presentation point. Will allow, and yeah, really tasty. So for that reason, for starters, Emily is getting a 9. For main course, Emily is getting an 8. She did a bean and sweet potato chili. She brought it out, it didn't have mince in it, it didn't have any sort of corn mince or anything either, it was just the beans. But really tasty, nice flavours, good textures. I really liked the pumpkin seeds on top, they were really nice, give it a little something extra, and the presentation was pretty too. For dessert, Emily is getting a 7. Bit strange, I thought the sort of a lemony custard is a bit of a weird concept to me, but yeah, quite nice, not my favourite. Emily's ambiance was faultless. She's getting a 10. There was sort of Mexican style music playing from the start. The table setup was beautiful. We had a tablecloth, we had placemats, we had napkins, everything was all matching, looks really beautiful. There was paper chains across the room. There was a sort of, I don't even know what you'd call it, a pom-pom banner thing along the back of the wall. All the colour scheming was lovely. There was mojitos, which was so tasty. There was just a lot of effort put in, and it was all really good.
It was a nice start. Could have done with a bit more kick spice-wise. I am going to give that a big fat 8. Okay, so then we're moving on to the main. Really nice, actually. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. Again, I could have had it a bit hotter. Could have given it a bit of stick, but obviously you've got to tame it down so it's sort of like palatable for everyone. I'm going to give my main a big fat, 9. I thought it was a really good main. I did like that. Okay, dessert. Looked very much like a creme brulee to me. It wasn't though. It was a bit too sweet for me, in honesty. That's the nature of those types of desserts, I suppose, to a large degree. Gave that a big fat 8. Ambience, massive load of effort in that. Yeah, the table was set really lovely. They made them all them flaggy bits and pieces. Yeah, that was pretty good. A lot of time spent on it as well. I'm going to give a 9.
Well, everybody, thank you for coming to my Come Dine With Me evening. It has been a splendid week or so.
Yes.
Under this lid is the grand prize.
Oh, my heart's racing.
I've added up all the scores. In 4th place, can we get a drum roll? We've got Dad with 95 points.
Do you want to come first, anyone? First is overrated.
In 3rd place, we've got Kerry-Ann. 99 You had 95, Kerry had 99.
Okay.
4 points.
This next one is unbelievable. In second place with 101 points, we have got Gemma Galloway! Which means I'm the winner!
I want to recap.
What a
Do you
sad
want
life,
sad little
Emily.
life,
Do you want to
Emily.
know how many points I got?
Yeah.
102.
And I got 99.
You got 101.
A deserving
You
winner.
did deserve it. That was a very good meal.
Thank you guys, that means
Alright.
a lot.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. So I'll see you in the next video.